All right, I'm backstage at Buffer Festival Day 1. We've survived, barely. I've somehow convinced you to come back here with me. Gabe Gordon from LA of Reach. Is it Reach Agency? Reach what?
Reach Agency.
So you guys actually create a lot of content for brands using influencers, and not, I mean, from a wide range of content formats, right?
Yep.
So in that sort of space, what should a brand, like, how do they even start? Like, because there's all these like matching agencies out there, all these platforms. Yeah. It's still like, it's so new. So what, in that terms, what's the most successful way to do that to actually first make something that people want to watch?
Yeah. Well, as you know, I spent 10 years at William Morris Agency before starting my own agency. So I, when most people are dealing with talent now for the first time hands-on, right? Yep. That's what influencer marketing is done, and especially with platforms that are self-serve, like everybody can now work with talent. And I know you've worked with talent a lot too. And not to say there's a secret sauce, but I guess, from my background being in an agency and having like directors, actors, producers that we all worked with, we've always looked at influencers as creators, right? And so we haven't simply looked at them as buying an audience. If you actually look at them buying an audience, now with new algorithms, their organic is way down, and even so with targeting, it's always been inefficient. So we've always looked at them as like, hey, that's a really great comedian, or that's a really great director. And so while sometimes we might do things on their channels itself, we also do so much more with them that isn't on their channel. So we've worked with influencers just simply to make white label content for us. We've worked with influencers just to direct projects we've done. There's much more that they know. Think about it. They've cultivated these huge audiences all on themselves, with not huge resources like every other network. So these people are the best strategists out there, that a marketer can have, and they can be way more than that.
They bring so much more to the table, right? The creative side, the distribution. I mean, they're talking about the little like networks in their own.
Yes,
right.
Absolutely.
Right? They bring so much, and I think brands sometimes just look at like, oh, they've got 20 million followers. That's what we want.
Yeah.
Right? The bigger picture, to your point.
Yeah.
What's the most like proud thing you guys have done, project recent in the past? Like, what do you think has really set an example of how it should be done?
Yeah. So interestingly enough, we just did our first VR project with Haagen Dazs, and we were fortunate enough to really be able to approach this like a filmmaker in Hollywood would approach it. Haagen Dazs has been a supporter of bee conservation for over 10 years. Bee-dependent ingredients make up a third of all of their flavors. So for Haagen Dazs, it was really more of a supply chain thing for them. But there, bee colony collapse is a huge issue that most consumers don't know about, and so. It was a 10-year-old campaign. We had the opportunity to really modernize it, and it was our first foray into digital. And the brand did not have a big budget, and which really forced us to find alternative means of how do we make this in the best way, how do we bring on partners to help supplement it. So, we wound up creating a trailer of our concept, partnering with a big director, taking it to Sundance, finding distribution partners, finding financing partners, so other brands financing another brand's film, but that was because the whole story wasn't about the product. It was a bigger story. It was about a bee taking a human through their own experience in their own life, and it was other people's story to tell. And we got free distribution, we got financing done to it, and we were able to make a film by creating it the way a creator would make it, and not like typical brands would mostly go to an agency which hire another company and just throw a bunch of money and make
sell features and benefits. I think that's one of that project's one of the examples where you've got a brand thinking about, they're not literally talking about their product. It's talking about something that's involved in their product, but the brand is the vehicle that's enabling the story to happen. And that's where we've talked about sort of that niche audience that really gets into that stuff, the science behind it, like how it all happens, right?
Absolutely.
And then,
sorry to interrupt, but they're doing an interview in here right now. They just asked me to clear the room.
oh, we're gonna be done in 30 seconds.
Okay.
30 seconds.
I'll be clearing while you.
And it's so like interesting how they took that approach, and one of the opportunities I think is brands like partnering with other people to get content out.
Absolutely. I think it was amazing having two brands come together that wants to create a piece of content, because in the entertainment business, there's not only one financer on a movie. There's not only one producer on a TV show. So where brands can find a common story and partner, it can help mitigate a lot of the costs that brands have in branding content, which can get expensive.
All right, we're getting, I guess, kicked out of our interview for another interview. I don't know. But I'm also keeping him from the drinks. So all right, thanks. Good to
David.
see you.
Appreciate it.